She smirked when she told me to leave. She stopped smiling when I handed her my own deadline. Before starting the story, please subscribe and like the video and listen through end for chill. When my stepmother, Linda, slid the envelope across the kitchen table, she did it with a smile that never reached her eyes. It was a Tuesday morning, coffee still steaming, the house quiet in that tense, artificial way it always was when she and I were in the same room. My dad had already left for work. He always did when conversations got uncomfortable. "You have 30 days, she said, tapping the envelope once with her manicured fingernail. "Plenty of time to figure things out." I didn't open it right away. I already knew what it was. An eviction notice from the house I'd grown up in, the house my mother had picked out, the house my father promised would always be my home. I was 27, yes, but I paid my share. I paid utilities, groceries, repairs. I wasn't freeloading. I was rebuilding my life after my mom died and after a job loss that hit me like a freight train. Linda knew all of that. She just didn't care. "I think it's time," she continued, folding her arms. "A grown man shouldn't still be living under his parents' roof." Parents. She'd been married to my dad for 6 years. I looked up at her, calm, quiet, too quiet for what was about to come. 30 days? I asked. She nodded, smug, legally generous. I stood, picked up the envelope, and walked out of the kitchen without another word. She thought she'd won. Linda had always underestimated me. From the day she moved in, rearranging my mother's furniture, boxing up her photos, repainting walls without asking, she'd acted like I was a temporary inconvenience, a reminder of a life that existed before her. What she never bothered to learn was why my name was on so many documents. After my mom got sick, things changed fast. Hospital bills, time off work, stress my dad couldn't handle alone. I stepped up. I helped refinance the house to keep it from foreclosure. I co-signed, I contributed, I kept records. And when my mom passed, my dad did something quietly, without ceremony. He put the house in a family trust, with 2 trustees, himself and me. Linda wasn't on it, not as an owner, not as a trustee, not as anything. She lived there by permission, not authority. And she had just crossed a line that triggered every legal safeguard my father had put in place. That afternoon, I called an attorney. By evening, I had copies of every document Linda had never bothered to read. By morning, I had leverage. At 9 a.m. sharp, I walked back into the kitchen. Linda was on her phone, laughing, planning brunch, living her victory. I placed a single folder on the table. "You have 24 hours, I said. She blinked. "Excuse me?" "To retract the eviction notice, to apologize, and to stop pretending this house is yours." She laughed, actually laughed. "You think you can threaten me?" she said. "I'm married to the owner." I opened the folder and slid 1 page toward her. Her smile vanished. Then another page, then another. Her face drained of color. "What is this?" she whispered. "The trust," I said calmly, "the mortgage records, proof of contribution, and this," I tapped the last document, "is the part where issuing an eviction notice without legal standing constitutes harassment and attempted unlawful removal." Her hands shook. "You can't do this." I already did. Linda stormed into my dad's office that night. I heard everything through the vent. Her sobbing, her shouting, her denial. Then silence. When my dad came home, he didn't look angry. He looked disappointed. "You told her," he said to her quietly. "This was never your house." She tried to spin it, claimed she felt disrespected, claimed I was undermining her authority. My dad didn't raise his voice. He just said, "You tried to throw my son out of his own home." That was the moment everything changed. The next morning, Linda found a notice on her nightstand. Not an eviction, a separation agreement. My dad had already spoken to a lawyer. Turns out, trying to illegally evict a trustee from a shared property doesn't look great in family court, especially when it exposes years of manipulation, financial overreach, and documented hostility. Her brunch plans disappeared. So did her access to the joint account. By the end of the week, she was packing boxes, quietly. No speeches, no smug smiles, no victory. She avoided my eyes as she carried her last suitcase to the door. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. People think revenge is loud. It's not. It's calm, prepared, documented. Linda gave me 30 days because she thought I was powerless. I gave her 24 hours because I knew the truth. And when the door closed behind her, the house finally felt like home again. Not because I won, but because I refused to be erased. She tried to evict me from my past, so I removed her from my future. I always believed control was something you could feel. It lived in routines, in silence at the dinner table, in the way people lowered their eyes when you entered a room. For 6 years, that house obeyed me. And then, overnight, it didn't. When I married Richard, I knew what I was marrying into. A widower, a quiet man, a house that still smelled faintly of another woman, and a son who never really left. Oh, people love to say he was grieving, but grief doesn't explain everything. He watched me, judged me, never called me mom, never even tried. I told myself he was temporary, that eventually he'd move out, get married, disappear into his own life. I waited. Years passed. He stayed, still sitting at her kitchen table, still sleeping down the hall from our bedroom. Every framed photo of his mother felt like a challenge. So yes, when I slid that envelope across the table, I felt relief. Finally, the house would be mine. I remember how calm he looked. That should have warned me. People who are about to lose everything panic. They beg, they argue. He didn't do any of that. He just stood up and walked away. I told myself he was defeated. I was wrong. The next morning, he came back with that folder. Thick, organized, heavy in a way paper shouldn't be. When he said, "You have 24 hours, I laughed. I had every reason to. I was married to the homeowner. I paid bills. I hosted holidays. I made that house function. And then I saw the first page. The word trust jumped out at me like an accusation. My name wasn't there. I flipped faster, desperately. Still nothing. Richard wouldn't do this, I said. He already did. The way he said it, flat, almost gentle, terrified me. Walls remember things. I swear they do. That night, every room felt like it was watching me. The hallway where I'd once boxed up my mother's clothes felt narrow. The living room couch where I'd insisted on new upholstery felt borrowed. I kept telling myself this was temporary, that Richard would fix it, that he had to. I didn't plan to cry, it just happened. Words came out wrong, accusatory, sharp. He's manipulating you. He's trying to control us. He's threatening me in my own home. My dad didn't raise his voice. That scared me more than if he had. He just listened. Then he said something that split me open. "This was never your house." I laughed, brittle. "I'm your wife." "Yes," he said, "but he's my son." I realized then how badly I'd miscalculated. I thought marriage gave me rank. I forgot blood remembers itself. The lawyer's call the next day was worse. Words like unlawful notice, harassment, and liability filled the room. I issued the eviction thinking authority was mine by default. Turns out, authority lives on paper, and paper remembered everything I didn't. Every contribution he made, every repair receipt, every co-signed loan. I had nothing, just assumptions. My dad didn't yell. He handed me documents, a separation agreement. "I need space," he said, "from this, from me." The house creaked around us like it was exhaling. I slept in the guest room. For the first time since moving in, I felt like a visitor. Boxes don't care who you thought you were. They just ask, "What's yours?" And the answer, it turned out, wasn't much. Furniture stayed, appliances stayed. The memories I tried to overwrite resurfaced everywhere. I avoided his eyes as I packed, not because I hated him, because I finally understood him. He hadn't been staying out of weakness, he'd been waiting. When I rolled my suitcase to the door, the house didn't resist. It didn't creak, it didn't sigh. It just stood there, steady, unmoved. He didn't gloat. That was the cruelest part. He simply watched, and for the first time, I saw myself clearly, not as a villain, not as a victim, but as someone who mistook occupancy for ownership. Power isn't taken by force, it's held by preparation. I gave him 30 days because I thought time was on my side. I gave her 24 hours because I understood the past better than I ever did. And now when people ask what happened, why my marriage ended so suddenly, why I left that house so quietly, I say nothing, because the truth is harder to explain. I tried to erase a son from his own home, and the house chose him. I thought I was removing an obstacle. Instead, I revealed who never truly belonged. I have never been good at confrontation. I grew up believing that if you stayed quiet long enough, problems would solve themselves, that time softened edges, that people eventually learned how to coexist. That belief cost me my family. When my wife was dying, she made me promise something simple. "Don't let this house disappear," she said. "It's his anchor." She was talking about our son. At the time, I thought she meant financially. Keep the roof, pay the bills, don't lose what we built. I didn't understand she meant emotionally. After she passed, the house felt too large, too quiet. Every room echoed with her absence. I retreated into work. I let my son handle things he shouldn't have had to. When he suggested a trust, I agreed without much thought. It felt practical. It felt responsible. I didn't see it for what it really was, a safeguard against my own weakness. Linda was efficient, organized, confident in ways I wasn't. She brought order where I brought avoidance. At first, I told myself that was balance, but balance quietly became silence. When she moved things around, I said nothing. When she made decisions without asking, I deferred. When my son withdrew, I noticed and did nothing. I told myself he was an adult, that he could speak for himself. That was my first failure. I wasn't there when she handed him the eviction notice. Maybe that's why it hurt so much. I imagine the scene now. My son sitting at the same table where his mother once helped him with homework, being told he didn't belong, and I wasn't there to stop it. When Linda came to me later, angry and shaken, I thought it was a misunderstanding. I told myself she wouldn't really mean it. That was my second failure. When my son placed the documents on my desk, he didn't accuse me. He didn't raise his voice. He just said, "I need you to read this." I did, slowly. Every signature was mine, every safeguard intentional. I had protected him without having the courage to defend him, and now that protection was being used because I hadn't spoken sooner. The realization sat heavy in my chest. Linda cried, not the kind that comforts, the desperate kind that tries to rewrite history in real time. She said she felt threatened, disrespected, undermined. I listened. Then I said the only thing that mattered. "You tried to remove my son from his home." She said she was my wife. I said, "And he is my responsibility." That sentence ended everything. People expect explosions at the end of marriages. Ours ended in paperwork and silence. I slept poorly, not from loneliness, but from clarity. I saw how often I'd chosen comfort over courage, how silence had looked like peace, but functioned like permission. My son never asked me to choose. That made it worse. I didn't help, not out of cruelty, out of respect for boundaries I should have drawn years ago. I watched my son stand still in the hallway as she passed him with her suitcase. He didn't speak, neither did she. The house felt steadier than it had in years. That night, I knocked on his door. "I should have stopped this sooner," I said. He nodded, not forgiving, not angry, just acknowledging the truth. "I won't let it happen again," I added. He didn't answer right away. Then he said, "That's all I needed." That sentence will stay with me for the rest of my life. The house is quieter now, but not hollow. We share meals again, not every night, not out of obligation, out of choice. I'm learning to speak before silence turns into harm. Too late to save my marriage, just in time to keep my son. I thought being a good father meant staying out of the way. I learned it meant standing in it. The house is smaller now, not physically, just quieter in the way places get when they've seen enough. The paint has been redone, neutral, no arguments in the color choices. The hallway rug is new. The old one wore thin in the places where people used to pace. My father moves slower. He keeps his keys in the same bowl by the door, every night, without fail. I live here still, not because I have nowhere else to go, because I chose to stay. Linda's name comes up rarely. When it does, it's not with anger, just context. She moved to Arizona. She remarried. She doesn't keep in touch. Facts without weight. The trust remains. We never dissolved it. It didn't need fixing. Some rooms hold less now. The guest room is empty. The door stays closed. No one asks why. The walls are clean. No photos, no storage. It's not preserved. It's unused. There's a difference. My father and I don't talk about that year. We don't need to. He watches where he steps now. So do I. Sometimes when the house is very quiet, I remember the envelope, how thin it was, how heavy it became. Power doesn't announce itself. It waits. On a shelf in the living room, there's a single framed document, the first page of the trust. Not displayed, not hidden, just there. Visitors don't ask about it. Those who know don't need to. The house still stands. So do we. She gave me 30 days. I gave her a lifetime without this place. If that story gave you chill, drop a like, subscribe, and comment so I know you made it to the end. I've got another one. See you then.